are you doing?
We good?
You made it.
We're good?
You made it up.
We
in the
made it up,
locker
yeah.
room.
We're joined by Chloe Mellon. Chloe today, 12.7 rebounds. So we'll open up with a statement from Coach, and then questions for Chloe, and then questions for Coach.
Happy with today's performance overall. I think we had a defensive goal that we were able to set and obviously obtain by the end. And I think for us, just to be able to play multiple players and get other players some more experience on the floor was really key for us today. And it's something I think is going to help us moving forward into conference. But I'm really happy, especially with Chloe, especially stepping up and doing some things that we know she's capable of doing on the floor, and more importantly, really leading the team the way she leads them. And I think that's going to help us moving forward as well. So very pleased with overall team performance. Again, you look at the assists, 21 assists on 26 made shots. That's, to me, Drexel basketball. And then what I was pleased to see, which you don't see a lot with us, is the 36 paint points. So for us, half our points being in the paint was something we worked on, and it was nice to see that pay off today.
Yeah, Chloe, speaking of points in the paint, you and Hedda Satman did a really good job. You got some offensive rebound putbacks, some high lows to Hedda. How did that feel to really execute you and Hedda and Jazz scoring in the paint early and often?
Yeah, I think that's something that we've really focused on this whole non-conference, is trying to get our post more looks, more touches, and not necessarily if we are scoring the ball, but just to draw the defense in and be able to kick it out to our guards. And something we have is at our posts, especially Brooke and myself, we also are versatile and great facilitators. So that really helps us kind of move the defense a little more than just going around the outside. And the high-low has been really successful for us.
Yeah, you guys did a great job sharing the ball, as Coach mentioned. 21 assists on 26 field goals. You had 4 assists. Brooke had 10 assists. How huge is that for you guys going forward into conference play to share the basketball and the bigs really find players down low and kick it outside as well to the guards?
Yeah, it's huge. And I mean, we are a motion offense, and that's how we score a lot of the time, is not by dribbling, but by cutting and moving without the ball. So I think, the more we can get those looks off the passes that we work on in practice, and kind of just getting the ball to the right people in the right spots where they're the most effective, is something that we've really been working on recently and hopefully continue to bring into 2024.
Coach, I have a question. I'm looking at the turnovers. You forced 26 turnovers from Arcadia. And can you just talk about what the defensive game plan was going into this game, and how do you feel about how well you guys executed that game plan in today's game?
I think that's huge. I think, we always talk about setting the tone with our defense, and I think that number shows that. And especially a team like Arcadia, who runs, they do run a system and a motion type offense. And one thing we know, because we do run similar things, is the one way to disrupt it is to really try to take them off what they're trying to do. And I think our defense stepping up in some of the steals, some of the things we were able to do, set the tone for us early. And so I'm really pleased with that, because I feel like that's going to continue to be what we need to be successful, especially moving into conference play.
Any questions for Chloe before we let her go? Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chloe.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question that I hear a lot of times elsewhere, and I wince and all, but a lot of people were making snarky remarks. Just, if you don't know what goes into why a game comes about, at times you hear about pen down the street, who they're playing Sunday. But that was a heck of a crowd today. Talk about the atmosphere, no matter who was cheering for who. That almost looked conference normal out there.
Yeah, I think you're happy to see that it's a local team that you're playing, and I think just excitement of an opportunity for Arcadia to play in our setting, at Drexel, and that's one of the things we talked to Coach Jackie about. It'll be an opportunity for their team to play in this environment and get ready for conference. They're using this game just as we're using it to prepare in the games we played in the non-conference as well. So they're looking at like, hey, if we can do these things here, are we going to be able to do them in conference? But I thought the crowd today definitely made the game obviously more, I think, exciting for both teams, and to have that crowd at home. I think it just goes to show these games are meaningful and really help both teams get results and things they need for both their conference play.
Speaking of conference, any thoughts going in? You get a whole week off before you start, but looking around the league, there's been some surprises, Stony Brook is up there, they said, but some of the people that they smacked are very noble people. You know, here in Delaware was picked ahead of you, and they've really been struggling.
I think that you just said it. I think the league, as far as we look at you heading into 2024, everyone's undefeated, right? So you go into it with just understanding where people expect you to finish, and then you have to prove where you deserve to finish. And I think for us, our conference, and the best thing I can say about our non-conference schedule is certainly set us up for anything we're going to see in conference. So every team we played and the teams we did lose to in non-conference are all teams that are going to contend for conference, I think, titles in their conferences. And I think that said, those games we lose that we had an opportunity to maybe possessions that maybe made the big difference. If we learn from those, I think we can beat any team in our conference, especially because I think we said earlier with our defense, but I think it's going to come down to just being able to everyone's ready for everybody in conference. But I think that the conference right now, you have a couple of teams that have really in non-conference, you see where their stands, but I think it starts all over when conference starts, and people know who you are and how you play. So it really is the teams that show up every day ready to go. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this team to show what they have in conference.
Yeah, Coach, really tough stretch with, you get the win over Buffalo, obviously a tough team, but Florida State, nationally ranked team, comes in here, and then a really tough tournament down in Fort Myers. How nice was it, just to get back in the win column, maybe get the mindset right for the players going into conference play?
I think it was huge. I said that to them, especially down in Florida after we played the back-to-back games, that this is really one of the tougher non-conference schedules we've had in my time here, and I've been here quite a long time. So, I think everything works out for a reason, but I would much rather figure out a couple things we learned from those games as we head into conference than learn them after we play a conference team and lose a game, because those are things we didn't focus on or weren't ready for. But, Florida State, if we see anybody like Florida State in our conference, I think we battled and showed moments of things that we could do against teams that had the type of athleticism and things they did. I think Florida Gulf Coast, they win their conference every year. So the way they played us is very similar to the way teams play us in conference. So I think, I told my team, we're ready for anything we're going to see in conference, and our out-of-conference schedule certainly prepared us for that. And it gave us, experience. Mullen, Hodges, this group has never played together, so I think those 11 games really are important. So today, to play at home and get a chance to play one more time before we play at home next week, I think was really great. And as Mel said, to have a crowd here and just, for the team, just to have that experience and say, hey, listen, this does work. Our defense is kind of where it needs to be. And I think our offense, you're going to continue to see throughout conference, different days, different people are going to score, but as a whole, we need everyone involved for us to be successful.
Yeah, some individual performances. Chloe had a great game. Brooke Mullen, the 10 assists, but some players that really stood out that hopefully they can continue this going into conference play offensively. Hedda Satman set the tone early, knocked down a couple of threes, got some good points in the paint. And Erin Sweeney off the bench, another 8-point performance, really maybe adds to your depth going into conference play. How big is it for really those two players in particular to springboard off of what they've done recently offensively going into CAA play?
I think it's huge. I mean, obviously Hedda and Aaron are seniors for us, so they know what to expect heading into CAA, which is really important. And now them getting a little momentum, feeling comfortable that they can actually score in what we do, I think is really important. And Erin Sweeney doesn't surprise me. It's something she's one of our smartest players on the floor. She knows why we're running things when we're running them. So I'm really excited to see her continue to get a little momentum going into conference. And Hedda for sure, because she's your size. Her ability to step out and shoot the three, that opens up things for us all around. So I'm hoping that continues as well.
Any other questions? Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coach.
Thanks.
We'll be back at home, open up conference play January 5th against Hampton.